It's what's called a concept musical, which means there's no dialogue, but it's kind of a cycle of songs that are all written with a similar idea in mind. The idea of one moment in your life and the road not taken. And they all deal with different relationships in different time periods and how the human condition really doesn't change. It's all about one moment. It's all about that 1 second when you take a road and maybe what was that other road I missed.
The music stands for itself. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need a lot. It's so beautiful. It's very intricate. It's difficult score, and the voice, the vocal parts are a challenge. So it stands alone, and it doesn't need big numbers to get the message across.
And you didn't know that you sometimes have to go round an unexpected bend.
As part of this organization, I feel it's very important that we include as many people as possible. And we're lucky enough to have a huge bank of talent here. So I was able to find people who could competently, more than competently, do this music justice. And I also think that the more people you add, there's a certain number at which it would become unwieldy, and I think 20 is about the max you could do. It becomes more an everyman story, because we've included people of different ages, all kinds of different backgrounds, all kinds of different things, and to me that says this is everyone's story.
Additionally, the group numbers, where traditionally you would have 4 people singing them, now have 20, and they're extremely powerful with all those strong voices coming through. It's very moving.
To try to be clear, to try to stand tall, but nothing's the same.
The band, I thought it served the pared down nature of this show. The set's pared down, the costumes are pretty pared down. That there not be a big, huge band. So it's just myself and a grand piano, and we have very talented people in the show. And so when they're not featured in a song, many of them are doubling on instruments like some drums and trumpet and melodica and things that would add just some color. And I think that that's a really good thing, because it speaks to the compactness of the whole show. It's very contained in a way, so I like that we've included the actors in that. There's no band, there's no separation. And when you're in a small theater company, of course costs are a consideration, so that's always reflects some of your artistic decisions. You have to be flexible. It's very much no legs, black box, scaffolding, grand piano, and a riser. And another reason is a big formal fluffy set would take away from the stories and would take away from the beautiful music.
What we really need is some support in waylaying the costs of putting on the show. Costs for shows like this, and all shows for that matter, have been increasing over the past few years.
I know that as an educator, I know how important MTP is to youth, but I also know how important it is to the adults in this community of various ages, up to 80 years of age. Myself, I was around 18 years old when I was in the very first production that MTP put on. And it set me on a course to where I am today. There are not a lot of opportunities for adults of a certain age to do large-scale musical theater. And it's, for some of them, it's their only outlet. And this is the only game in town that embraces them, and that's a community that they can have this outlet.